to the Dino American in the Philippines YouTube channel. How about a thumbs up? Leave me a comment what you want me to talk about maybe. Click the subscribe button. What is that going to hurt? So today we're going to be in Dino D's kitchen again, and we're going to make some beef stroganoff with ground beef. I believe it's a Russian meal. I have my recipe right here, although I'm going to alternate or change a couple of things in it. So stay tuned and see how to make it simple. Water in the pan or pot, because we're going to be supposed to be using egg noodles, but the store I went to did not have any egg noodles. Yes, it's raining, so I'm sorry about the background noise. So I got the fusilli, which is like the curled up kind of noodles. Now the difference in pasta is how well it's going to hold the sauce and the flavor. So you're going to put a gravy on this, so that's going to hold it very good. Then we're going to add some salt to the pot. A salt shaker. Yeah, it used to be a Parmesan, Romano Parmesan shaker, but it emptied out and really great for salt. So let's start our fire. Maybe. There we go. Put our pan on there, and then we're going to put our pot lid on the pot. It'll help it start boiling faster. And then we can pour, I'm going to use about a half a bag of the fusilli pasta in there. When it gets hot and boiling, that's when I'll add the pasta. Alright, so it looks like the water is boiling. My favorite tool here in the kitchen. Cut open our bag about halfway. Again, we're only going to put about half of this bag of fusilli in there. It's been seasoned with some salt. So we're going to put our thumb right here. That should be about right there, I think. Right there at the bottom of the grain. That's actually right there on that red stripe. That should be about half. Oops. We're going to give this a little stir so they don't stick together. Put the lid back on. Let it start boiling again. We'll come back in a couple of minutes. Stir it again. Hopefully it won't stick together. You have to realize when you're cooking pasta, it'll almost double in size. So that'll probably pretty close and fill that water. As you can see, we're back, and oh yeah, you have all those bubbles right there in the pot. That's called starch from cooking the pasta. So we're going to give it a stir. It's been about 5 minutes. Make sure it doesn't stick together. I can tell by the feel that it's not quite ready yet. But we'll give it a taste anyway. Oh! Fell off my spoon. Here. Alright, let's let that cool a little bit because it's very, very hot. Yeah, maybe about halfway finished. So we'll check on that pasta about another 5 minutes. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of butter. One and 2. Get that melted down a little bit. And then we're going to take approximately 1 cup of sliced onion and 2 cloves of garlic minced. And we're going to start cooking it down. I like using a lid. That'll help propel the cooking of the onion on a medium heat. Right there. You just want the onion and the garlic translucent. The recipe says put the mushrooms in there and cook those also. I believe it calls for like portobello mushrooms, but all I have is these mushrooms in a can here in the Philippines, and they're already cooked. So we're going to let the onion and the garlic cook for a little bit, and then we'll put the already cooked mushrooms. The already cooked mushrooms in the pan to cook with the onion and garlic. Now we're going to say that those onions and garlic and mushrooms are done. Next step, let's brown our ground beef or cook our ground beef. Stove is on low. So now we're going to just dump our ground beef into the pan. Come on out of the bag. Thank you. A little salt. Black pepper, ground beef is browning on a low temperature. Get that smashed up a little bit. This is like a half a kilo of ground beef. Calls for 1 pound. Philippines uses metric measurements, so that's a little less than 1/2 kilo. Put the lid back on, and that'll cook down nice and slowly. Okay, so now it looks like the ground beef is ready and finished. So we're going to throw that in to get it drained. My handy dandy strainer that I use. Put that in the strainer. Get the oil, the grease all strained off of it. That'll take about 2 or 3 minutes. recipe is here. Alright, we cooked the beef broth, we cooked the beef and we're draining it. So it wants us to use a total of 1 1/2 cup. Where is it at? There it is. Beef broth. But what it wants us to do is stir the beef broth, 1 cup of beef broth in the pan with the Worcestershire size sauce. We're going to use soy sauce for that. There's no Worcestershire sauce here at home. Salt and pepper. Heat it to a boil. Remaining 1/2 cup of broth with the flour. We're going to make a little change here. What we're going to do is we're going to make 1 1/2 cups of broth. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put the beef back in the pan, dust it with the flour. 3/4 cup of flour, get that stirred in good. And then we'll put 1 1/2 cups of the beef broth into the meat, and that'll turn it into like a gravy. So that's approximately 1 cup of water, approximately 1/2 cup of water. So 1 1/2 cups, we're going to use 1 Nord brand beef cube to make 1 1/2 cup beef broth. We're not going to put any salt in here. We're going to put some black pepper because the beef cube has plenty of salt already in it. But we'll taste it before we do anything else. And I want to put a little butter in there, maybe 1 tablespoon of butter, because I like butter. So when we finish making our beef broth, what we're going to do is we're going to put it into a container. Then we'll put our ground beef back in the pan here. Put our flour in, get it dusted. Well, I'll probably put a little more butter again. Get the flour in here and get it dusted and solidified, basically. Then we're going to throw our beef broth in there. Every time you add an ingredient, spice, butter, anything, water, liquid, milk, doesn't matter what it is, you always want to taste it and see if it's right for you. So the beef broth is looking pretty good. That's how you customize it for your taste. So let's give this a try, the broth, see if we need more salt or not. It's tasting pretty good. I don't believe we need more salt. You can always add salt or spices, but it's very difficult to take it out after you add it. Broth is ready. That in a container here. Hopefully we don't spill it everywhere. We'll see what happens. Okay, good deal. No spillage, yay. Okay. So now we'll put the drained ground beef back in the pan. Add a little bit more. another tablespoon, like that. This is the point now, we're almost ready. Put the flour in. Don't think butter. Alright, so we have our ground beef and butter in there. We have our flour from where I buy it from, is a baking store. It says 1/4 cup of flour. So we're going to make that approximate, 1/4 cup. Tablespoon, heaping tablespoon, get that spread out nicely like that. 1/4 cup is going to be too much. 1, 2, and 3 tablespoons of flour I think is good. Now we'll get that stirred in. What this will do, stirring it into the meat like this, when you pour that broth back in here, it'll keep a nice smooth consistency for the gravy. Because that's the next step, basically, is making the gravy. So get that stirred in. If you ground beef, you want it to look kind of dry in here. Kind of like that kind of looks. That's because the ground beef has absorbed the flour, the grease and everything here is all gone. So now we're going to turn the ground meat on high. Couple more minutes, we'll be finished. Now we're going to start pouring our broth back in. Yes, warm, hot. Okay, with that flour mixed in with the meat, it's going to make a nice gravy out of this, and it won't have any clots in it. Already starting to thicken up a little bit. You can see it's bubbling now. It's becoming a gravy, a nice thick, becoming a thick gravy. Give it another stir here. And there's no little flour clogs in it. Nice smooth gravy. What the recipe called for to do is take 1 cup of broth, put it in with the meat, and then take another ½ cup of broth, mix your flour in it, make a slurry. Well, guess what? I changed that one to do it this way. And this works really well. Really nice. So now we're going to add our onion and mushroom and garlic to this. Uh-oh, I think my girlfriend's home. That all mixed in like this. We're almost finished. Nice and thick. You turn that off now. And then we add our sour cream. Hi, honey.
No, Daddy.
Hi, lady. Finishing dinner on the video.
What's that?
Oops, that was close. Alright, so this calls for 1 cup sour cream. Right there, yeah, this is enough sour cream, I think. That's stirred in. Nice creamy sauce. Now, when I made this before, actually I used some tomato sauce and a little bit, so it makes a red sauce, not a white sauce. Alright, see what this tastes like. That's pretty yummy. Honey, I'm video. Thank you. So that tastes pretty yummy, but I still like mine with the red sauce. You want to come taste, please? Taste now, please. I need you to taste now, because if you taste now, then I can change.
I'm 80. What's this?
Called beef Stroganoff.
What's this?
Onion.
Onion.
It is onion. My God.
This likes not. Yeah.
Okay, that is not the question. That was onion. Okay?
That's not the onion.
Yes, there's onion in here. Right there. Here's onion right there. See that?
No, likes nothing.
No, it's onion. This is beef Stroganoff. There's onion right there.
It's yummy, but I taste just like snotty. Ew.
It's not snot, that's onion. Oh my God, she says
It's like
tastes yummy.
Nora.
Alright, so I'm going to finish this up with some sauce. Yeah, hot dog on a stick.
Who ate my banana?
I eat the banana.
You ate all banana?
I'm still video. Alright, so maybe it's because I'm Sicilian, I don't know, but I like a little red sauce in mine. So let's go put some tomato sauce in here. About 3 tablespoons. And we'll taste it, because usually I have to add some sugar to it. Tomato sauce is bitter. There are 2 different styles of Russian beef stroganoff. One is a white and the other is a red or kind of a pink color like this right now. Red or a pink color like this is right now. Or I don't know, maybe some of you people call it orange. Like that. Now let's taste this and see what we have. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. Yeah, extra. And like tomato sauce. Yeah, I know it's a little bit dark. Bon appetit! Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy your beef stroganoff. Have a great day.